Good evening. Throughout this presentation, we will discuss the consultation process of the solar energy project with the Kyoto community. Our group members are Ben, Alex, Ellie, Michael, and Jerry.
Kwakudo means smoke of the world or beach at the north side of the river. Archaeological evidence indicates that the Kwakudo have occupied Vancouver Island, the adjacent mainland, and the island between for about 9,000 years. The Kwakudo are composed of a great many tribes that are subdivided into by a lateral family line, the Newman, the member of which claim descent from mythical ancestors. Kwakudo believe that their ancestor was the seagull, sun, grizzly bear, and thunderbird. There are 4 tribes, the Kwakudo, the Kamkutas, the Quakers, and the Wallace Kwakudo. The language they are speaking are called Kwakwala. It's a Waukesha language of the northwest coast, traditionally spoken in their territory. For all of the people who speak the language Kwakwala, they call themselves the Kwakwak. Throughout native North America, gift-giving is a central feature of social life. In the Pacific Northwest of the United States and British Columbia in Canada, this tradition is known as the pledge. With the tribal groups of these areas, individuals hosting a pledge, giving away most of their wealth and material goods to show goodwill to the rest of the tribal members and to maintain their social status.
Kyoto main sources income are fish, animal, and plant processing, participation in approved development project, and bans. Based on the average income calculated by Canadian government census in 2016, the average income of Kyoto was $23,230 after tax, compared with 2006, increase of 44%. The height is same as that of the line on Vancouver Island. The area is 502 hectares, and the main residence is Fort Rupert. According to the Canadian government demographic, the population was 255 as of 2016, and is growing to more than 300 in 2018. Kyoto has a relatively high level of education. According to the 2016 census, more than 60% of population have a high school degree or above, and the schools have been built in the Kyoto community to provide general basic courses and language and culture courses from the pre-kindergarten to 7th grade. At the same time, have this financial aid for college student or university student. The environment of Kyoto have the temperate rainforest climate and the Pacific monsoon climate, which is rich in flora and fauna. Most of flora and fauna are vital to the daily life and the economic sources of local people.
Solar energy is radiant light and heat from the sun that is harnessed using a range of ever-evolving technologies. Each year, the solar energy falling on Earth is much more than the total energy we need. It is an unlimited and clean source that shall provide energy-efficient solutions that reduce carbon dioxide emissions. Therefore, Canadian government has been paying close attention to the solar energy field. In 2021, the energy sector employed more than 280,000 Canadians and accounts for 6.8% of the GDP and 16% of total investment in Canada. For the Kyoto, there are many positive effects while there are some negative ones.
The most direct benefit of solar energy is the protection of the environment. The preservation of nature in Kyoto has been a tradition since ancient times. Solar energy can replace fossil fuels to a certain extent, thus reduce carbon dioxide emissions. In addition to being environmental friendly, a solar energy project can also provide jobs in local areas. Considering small population size of Kyoto, this project will attract a lot of working people to the area. So the economy of Kyoto's land will be driven along with the construction of the power station. Also, The development of solar projects can improve local people's living conditions. The infrastructure such as road and power supply facilities can be upgraded, and in some ways, it makes local Kwakiutls' life more convenient. However, the development of solar energy is not always good for Kwakiutls. The modern architectural style is different from the traditional style of Kwakiutl. For the Kwakiutl, the change in lifestyle has been dramatic. There was a Kwakiutl traditional carving artist said that he preferred handmade rather than using power tools. So these new things that are different from their traditions may not be easy for them to accept. At the same time, the entire solar project will require a lot of land, which means less territory for the Kwakiutl tribe. During the construction of the power station, some trees may be cut down, so in the short term, the project will damage the nature. Some indigenous people may also lose their original homes, so resettlement issues need to be considered.
Despite the few negative effects caused to the Kwakiutl community, our Consultation plan aims to maximize the advantages and minimize the negative impacts, while also trying to protect the culture and the rights of the Kwakiutl community. Our company has discovered multiple ways for the consultation process, which include application of co-management and operations through environmental assessment and impact benefit agreement. Co-management is a formal way of sharing governance of the project between the indigenous community and our company. In this application, indigenous people are the right holders to possess the rights to state their points of view. They are given sovereignty to monitor the use of the land. This provides them chances to share their traditional knowledge and skills, which may improve the functioning of the solar project. The second method our company will propose is letting the Kwakiutl members participate in the environmental assessment. The EA is a proposal that states a completed description of the project, including its context of development, the impacts it will potentially cause, and our strategies to manage these impacts. With the Kwakiutl members have averaged a high level of education, giving them a chance to participate in the assessment process allows them to freely express their perspectives on the technical operation of the solar project, as well as the ways to protect the cultures they value. The environmental impacts can also be minimized and restored. This collaboration between our company and the community effectively reduces conflicts that might happen due to cultural differences. The Impact Benefit Agreement is one of the processes in the EA, which is a direct negotiation of access to economic benefits between our company and the Kwakiutl community. The IBA declares that if the indigenous community decides to receive the benefits from the project management, they are required to sacrifice certain resources. Our solar project requires workers in several criteria such as manufacturing, solar installation, and electrical connection. These job opportunities provide economic benefits for the community. The IBA also allows the indigenous people to participate in the decision-making process and provides the rights for them to regulate resource and labor. The cooperation with the indigenous community through the chances of co-management and the EA follows the consultation phrase, free, prior, and informed consent, that it allows the Kwakiutl community freedom to express and their consent is asked before starting any authorization. They are also guaranteed the rights to self-determinate their region. Our company believes that by using these strategies, which investigates the consultation plan legally, environmentally, and economically, will help us to establish a mutually beneficial relationship between two communities.
Thank you so much for listening. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to ask.